Hi everybody, it's Robin here. Welcome to Oracle Rising. Before I jump in, I'm just going to let you guys know that what I'm going to talk about today is all 12 dimensions and what that means and what they look like. This is going to be sort of a beginner's journey of a video because this is a really complex subject. There's a lot going on with it. So I'll do a description and we'll go from there. And as always, you guys, feel free to comment down below what you thought of the video. I'm really open to opposing opinion as long as they're kind. If you guys want me to research a particular subject, I am more than happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments, or you can email me at oraclerising, and it's the number 2 at gmail.com. So just really quickly, you guys, I was guided to start this channel to help people connect as a soul family, a Lightworker starseed family, to help raise the consciousness of the planet. Okay, so I'm just going to bring the camera down here a little bit. So the 12 dimensions, you guys, and this is all achieved through thought. Okay, so we're going to start at the base, but I really want you guys to look for similar theories in other aspects of your spiritual practice. Like there are 12 chakras, okay? There is a 12-strand DNA. It really reminds me of Tesla's geometry and his mathematical approach to the world. So there is something about math and the 12s matching all the way across. I wanted to talk about the 12 chakras as how they relate to the 12 dimensions, but I think that would just be too long of a video. So I'll chop things up and we'll just sort of approach things in baby steps. We'll keep on taking little bites towards spiritual awakening. So I hope you guys enjoy after that extremely long-winded introduction. Here comes Lacey. Okay, so did you guys hear her lay down and give a big hump? Hi. Who else has a companion animal? So Lacey's my dog, for anybody that's here the first time. So the first dimension, you guys, it's called the unconscious, and the key word for that is chaos. So if you want to try and look at a time in history where there was a complete lack of consciousness, you might really want to look at the caveman, like really prehistoric, just operating on a gut instinct and not putting any sort of attachment to anything. Like, I can't imagine there was a whole lot of intelligence in cavemen. I watched this movie ages ago and it was called Quest for Fire, and it reminds me of that. And it actually shows a couple different, I guess you would call them tribes or races. And one of them is like completely just so stuck in like complete lack of consciousness, and they meet up with another tribe that is a little bit higher on the scale than them. So it was a really interesting interaction. So that's really interesting too. I say interesting a lot, I know. So the first dimension, it just really reminds me of a big rock just kind of sitting there. The rock exists, it's hanging out, it's enjoying the sunshine. Rocks have energy too, but it's doing nothing really. It's not thinking, it's just a lump. Okay, so that is what the first level of consciousness reminds me of, the chaos factor. Okay, so I have my notes here as per usual because you guys know I can. So the second, it moves up to the subconscious, and the key word that I found for that was the wasteland. Okay, so maybe connecting with the subconscious mind and becoming aware of things on a subconscious level, like slow awakening. Like maybe it feels like those pre-dawn hours where there's some sort of, there's something else going on. And when I was preparing to do this video, I got a connection that this was more like the Dark Ages, but people are still acting like barbarians, and they still do. So I found this a really, really interesting level. And if you guys know about chakras, you can right away start matching them up as we go along. But again, I'll do a second video and probably a third, possibly a fourth. So the third level, the third D, the 3D, is the 3D matrix where we are right now. And it was actually watching that movie, as well as inspiration from my guides, which brought me to start this channel. I've said it before, the Matrix is a documentary. It's not a movie. I'm not alone in saying that. I do believe that Keanu Reeves himself said that. So if you haven't seen that movie, you might want to check it out because it's quite fascinating. So this is the physical level, okay? This is a period of extreme denseness, and you can take that however you want to. You know, it is the 3D density where people are still stuck. And you can see what people are chasing, okay? People are chasing the buck. They're chasing, just high offices and monarchy and just really chest-thumping positions, and it's a nonstop treadmill, and it's really going nowhere because there's the rest of us that are trying to get the planet out of the 3D matrix because it is not self-actualized at all. It's just really a density of greed and a lack of self-awareness, and where coin is king, money is king. I saw this meme a little while ago that, if we look at people that are hoarders, we're absolutely appalled by them, people that hoard whatever. But there's people that have hordes and hordes of money, and they are revered, and they're talked about in magazines, and the richest person in the world, woohoo, way to go. But I mean, what does that say about their mindset? They're also hoarding. They're also being incredibly selfish. Not to say that people with tons of money are not altruistic and give back, but there is a percentage of people that are money hoarders, and they'll do anything for money. That is the 3D matrix. So you want to kind of equivalent that to mud, being very stuck in mud and trying to unmire yourself and move up. So there are also forces around us that are trying to keep us in the 3D matrix. There's a lot of theories about this being done intentionally by negative beings, just as there are Arcturians and Syrians and Palladians, Orions, multiple guides assisting us to rise. There are, of course, the balance with the negative entity wanting to keep us back down because we're good little earth slaves, okay? So it's very, very complicated. As always, I really want to recommend you guys, if there's anything like, I didn't know about that, go ahead and do your own research too. I really want to advocate for that because we all kind of pull different strings and follow different paths. 3D matrix, that's where our planet is right now, because most of the population of the planet are in that mindset, that achievement mindset, to just competing for money and, glory and stuff like that. And then there's us who live in the 3D matrix, but we're doing our best to ascend. We're doing our best to share love and light. And that doesn't mean that we don't value material items, because we need them to survive. So it's a little bit of a conundrum, but we're here connecting as a soul tribe to share our love and connect through the crystal grid. I've done a video on that too, if you're not sure what that is. So the 3D matrix is disgusting. Okay, so the fourth dimension is astral. Okay, and this is becoming aware that your thoughts create things. Okay, I read tarot, so I should have brought the Fool's Journey, but anyway. Thoughts create things. We start to become aware of being the magician, okay? That, I manifested that, and we could be slow to realizing that. we're here to remember who we are, what we're capable of. Everybody has the power of the magician in them. We can all manifest. You can see that certain people are way better at it than others. My mind always goes to Oprah Winfrey because she calls herself a master manifester. And she's quite impressive. And she talks about how she wills things into her life. And she just got better and better and better and better at it as she matured and grew stronger. But she's also the type of person that gives back in multiple ways. I just have nothing but respect for her. So the astral is the fourth dimension. And, we're probably all there, all of us here that are joined together, or like 3.5, 3.75, in that range. So with the power of us connecting here, we can bring our little Oracle Rising family up another notch and keep on bringing in people on that same mission. What's really interesting on the channel, I need water, hold on. I find it's a bit of a slow growth, but I'm okay with that. But, I'll check everything, my comments and everything, my dashboard every morning because I want to respond to y'all. I'm like, ooh, another subscriber. I'm like, ooh, another soul family member. Like, yay. So anyway, I'm excited about that. So we're moving on to the fifth dimension. Okay, so if you want to think about the fifth dimension, this is where the Atlanteans and the Lemurians existed. And this was, I think I said in my research, I did a video on Atlantis and Lemuria 20,000 years ago. And they were in the 5D, okay? And then something happened and they were destroyed, and we were brought back to the third dimension. Okay, so what video book did I listen to? Audiobook. I do think it was The Flower of Life. Something about the secrets of the flower of life. Okay, you also might want to watch Bringers of the Dawn. Just in case you guys didn't know, I have a really hard time reading, so I listen to a lot of audiobooks. So I had a super bad concussion years ago, and it just changed the way that I can absorb written information. So anyway, astral, mental, this is the ascended beings. This is starting to realize who we are, where we came from. You want to think about people that had near-death experiences, or people that can see the other side. They can pierce through the veil. People that do transcendental meditations and actually levitate and go visit with their guides in different realms. This is very fascinating. And being so self-aware and connecting with people probably through meditative thought, psychic abilities, just being incredibly powerful, being more in contact with the light body than the physical body. So this just didn't work for the negative, and you want to say reptilian races that wanted to hold humans. Ancient Secrets of the Flower of Life, okay? It's got that theory in there about what happened and how humans were enslaved. It's very, very fascinating. Some of it is a little bit out there, but for the most part, it's incredibly mind-blowing. So we got up to the fifth dimension with Atlantis and Lemuria, and then you gotta listen to that audiobook or read it because it explains everything in way more detail. It's really, really interesting. I'm probably gonna listen to it again. So Atlantis and Lemuria disappeared, and so did 5D. Back down to 3D. Can you imagine if you and I sitting here allowed this planet to go back to the first dimension where we're just completely oblivious and like caveman-esque again? Nuh-uh. Like, this is where we're the spiritual warriors standing up and saying, no, we're not going back down. And like, everything feels like it could be collapsing back down, with the pandemic and the wars and whatever else is going on that is just hideous. But we have this deep abiding love to share. So, and this is where we're going, you know, in between the third and fourth dimension and rising up. So we're all very close to this fifth D, mental ascended beings. And the more of us that collect, the more unstoppable we are, and the more people that we can reach with this message of love and light and seeing what is possible, where we don't have to be stuck in the 3D matrix and so concerned about material things. Because once we become aware of 4 and 5D, we can just bring things into existence simply because we thought about them. Okay, so the sixth realm, the sixth dimension, is called Buddhic, and this is the cosmic mind. Okay, so you want to think about the massive expansiveness. Lacey's just peering off into the distance. Okay, so I thought she was going to start barking. So the cosmic mind, this is the cosmos, where we're attached to it. Okay, and just like having this mind-blowing awareness. So imagine being part of that, where it's sort of that collective. And I'm going to make another Star Trek reference. It's like, what was it? The Borg, resistance is futile. And everybody just collected in those cubes and they all had one powerful mind. If you want to think about like Arcturians, the Arcturian Council, the Palladians, all the star councils, they don't use language anymore because they're part of that big cosmic brain. Okay, and then we could all be there and all share everything, you know, and everything being transmitted at a really rapid rate of speed. So that one just kind of, it's so, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. It's so overwhelming to think of that, but it's possible for us. And there's people living in that right now on our 3D matrix world. And of course, all of our guides all the way around us. I know when I start to get goosebumps, that there is a very strong presence around me, like sort of supporting me and encouraging me, because sometimes this is not easy for me to do, but I appreciate everybody's love and support. So the seventh dimension is the I am presence. Okay, this is the domain of the soul. So you might have heard people talk about, you know, when you're saying affirmations, to say I am. There's also a lot of, like from the Bible, there are sayings that I am that I am. So this is a very ancient type of belief. I am everything. I am the collective. I am everything that I see. So the further we go up in the layers of the dimensions, the more that we understand that we are all a collective and we are all connected. So that's why that phrase, I am that I am. And I watched this Wayne Dwyer video and he was talking about that. And he said that in the text, what they should have done was put a comma, I am, comma, that I am. Okay, so, and again, I'm getting this rising goosebumps. So you can look at anything around you and say, I am part of that, you know, and you are part of me. So when we have that mindset, and I think we're on the seventh dimension, right? That I am presence, the domain of the soul. All of our souls are connected. We are one light, one love. And when we start to understand that, how can we do anything but love everything around us, because it is us? Okay, so this is just like this heartbreakingly beautiful dimension of love and light, and just say, the presence is me. I am everything that I see. I am that I am. It's so beautiful. You might really want to check out that Wayne Dwyer video. I don't really follow him too much. He's just not my cup of tea. He's not my style. Like, I didn't connect with him as a guide, but I did watch a couple things of him that I was like, oh, that was really cool. So the eighth dimension is called the crystal sea. And I absolutely love that. Maybe I should break these down into a video. Let me know in the comments, you guys, how you want me to explain this further, because I'm just doing a quick overview. Um, and this is the angel councils. This is where the angels kind of live and hang out, you know. Yeah, we're going to be here until we're called down. We're kind of, you know, a team of angels. So I love that. So imagine breaking out of the 3D consciousness and moving up and being able to visit the crystal sea and hanging out with the angels. How cool is that? They do come and visit us, but in our 3D matrix and 4D and 5D, it can be a little bit overwhelming and overpowering. So, I mean, imagine getting to that level, you know, and how do we assess what part of the matrix we're in? Maybe I'm going to write that down, okay, so I can do a video. Hold on. I inspired myself. So I'm going to do a video on how we can tell what dimension that we're in, okay? So that'll be cool. So moving on, the 9th dimension is the plan administration. And that sounds a little bit like uptight much, but this is where the archangel councils live, okay? So I've done videos, you guys, on angels and archangels. Mostly on my other channel. I have a playlist that it's called All About Angels, and I talk about them all the time. I do angel readings on my tarot channel. I am strongly supported by Archangel Michael and Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel is the messenger angel. Archangel Michael is the warrior angel. Anytime I start to get a little bit freaked out, like my brain is running too much, I call on an archangel. So whichever one resonates most with you, and if you're not sure who they are, definitely check out on my other channel, Aries Fire Tarot, All About Angels, or whatever resource you want to use. Obviously, I'm going to give myself a plug, right? So the 10th dimension, oh, how do you even pronounce this? Oversoul. That was rough. Anyway, sometimes my writing is so bad. So this is the spirit birthplace of souls, okay? The oversoul level. So let your mind wrap around that for a little while. And I am going to do a video on new souls versus old souls, and how we can tell which one we are. So this is the oversoul level. And I have done a video on the oversoul. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about that, it's probably in one of my playlists on Oracle Rising. It's either in the Ascension or Exit the Matrix or both. So the oversoul, this talks about soul contracts, soul families. It helps us understand ourselves a little bit more and how other people have been contracted to play out certain parts of in our lives. Just another resource on that, you guys, is Dolores Cannon. She is this unbelievable source when it comes to things like that, the psychology of dimensions. She's done past life regression series with many people. Side note, Wayne Dwyer and Dolores Cannon have both passed on to the other side of the veil, so everything is going to be a little bit historical, okay, but really resonant. So the oversoul level was the 10th dimension. The 11th dimension is the universal plan, and this is where the Creator Council lives, okay? So creator, the creator of all life. This is the person or the council that you want to think of it as a person depending on I guess your spiritual beliefs or your religious beliefs. It's all good, whatever you believe in. I'm here to support all of that, okay? So we think of ourselves as co-creators. So imagine being that high up. If we're in the 3D matrix right now and we could skip up 11 dimensions, imagine the power of being able to reside with the Creator Council, okay? So I think that's absolutely amazing. The universal plan. I'm reminded of that movie, The Adjustment Bureau, which was really cool. So it was a really different take on that. So you guys might want to check that out. Plus, it was just a really good rom-com. It wasn't a rom-com, drama. So the 12th dimension, and this is the top dimension, depending on what research you find. I go with the 12s. This is what I believe in. This is what I resonate with. It's mathematically comforting. So this is where the Godhead is located. This is source. This is pure consciousness. Okay, so I think that all really speaks for itself. But if you guys watched any of the videos that I did on higher self, you understand that your higher self resides in the 12th dimension. So your higher self is aware of all of this. It sees through all dimensions. So this is why it's really important to start communicating with your higher self and understanding that your higher self is that immediate response in your brain when you ask a question. That higher self is your gut reaction when you're doing something. It'll say, like, don't go that way. You know, that's not the opportunity for you. Do not get messed up with that person, you know. So this is the highest level. This is the highest achievement in all dimensions. That's where we can all reside, not just our higher selves. This is our job as spiritual warriors to help everybody here get out of this third dimension. And by reaching through whatever channel we have, and this is the channel that I am reaching out to you guys with love and light and just many blessings to hold your hand on your path. And you guys are holding mine too. You guys support me right back. So make no mistake about that, how deeply grateful I am that people show up and they actually watch and comment and support, and you know, all of those words of love that we exchange back and forth, they multiply and they pull in, and we can rise above the 3D matrix where there is poverty and war and strife and like hunger and horrible, it's so appalling. Why we as humans who call ourselves like the top of the food chain, or like, why are we doing this when there's so many options of beauty available to us? Would the top species do that? No. This is somebody else's influence. Okay, so we're here to fight back, take charge, and move up through the dimensions to where we belong as magical beings of divine love and light. Man, rant over. Okay, guys. Love you. Bye.